African wild dogs, also known as painted wolves, live by rules that set them apart from almost every other predator on the African continent. Their survival depends not on individual strength, but on unity, discipline, and loyalty. This philosophy extends even to reproduction, where mating is carefully controlled to protect the stability of the pack. Unlike lions or hyenas, African wild dogs do not allow widespread breeding within the group. In most packs, only the dominant male and dominant female are permitted to mate. This restriction reduces conflict, prevents overcrowding, and ensures that the pack's energy remains focused on raising a single litter at a time. Subordinate males and females suppress their reproductive instincts, prioritizing the survival of the group over personal reproduction. The bond between the dominant male and female is not formed overnight. It develops gradually through shared leadership, trust, and cooperation during hunts. These two individuals often move together, rest close to each other, and communicate more frequently than with other pack members. This bond strengthens long before mating ever occurs. Mating season is not fixed to a specific month but is influenced by environmental conditions. In regions with predictable rainfall, mating often occurs once a year, usually timed so that pups are born during seasons of higher prey availability. This timing increases the chances that the pack can provide enough food for the growing litter. When the female enters estrus, subtle changes in her behavior become noticeable. She becomes more attentive to the dominant male and may isolate herself slightly from the pack. The male responds by staying close, guarding her from other males and reinforcing their bond. This guarding behavior is not aggressive, but protective, ensuring uninterrupted mating. Copulation itself is brief but may occur multiple times over several days. These repeated matings increase the chances of successful fertilization. During this period, the pack becomes calmer and more cautious, avoiding unnecessary risks and conserving energy. What makes African wild dogs unique is the complete absence of competition during mating. There are no violent struggles between males, no forced dominance displays. Order is maintained through established hierarchy and mutual understanding. This social discipline is one of the species' greatest strengths. Once mating is successful, the female's role within the pack becomes even more protected. Other pack members show increased tolerance and attentiveness toward her. Hunts are conducted with greater care, and food sharing becomes more deliberate, ensuring the female remains strong during early pregnancy. The dominant male also changes his behavior. He becomes more vigilant, often positioning himself between the female and potential threats. His responsibility is no longer just leadership, it is guardianship. This reproductive strategy reflects the wild dog's philosophy of survival. Every member understands that the future of the pack depends on cooperation. There is no room for ego or rivalry. The success of one is the success of all. As days pass, the signs of pregnancy become more apparent. The female's movements slow slightly, and she begins spending more time resting. The pack adjusts naturally, matching her pace and reducing long-distance travel. At this stage, the foundation for new life has been laid. But the most challenging phase is yet to come. Once mating has successfully occurred, the dominant female African wild dog enters a critical and vulnerable phase of her life. Pregnancy in wild dogs is not immediately obvious, but subtle changes begin to appear within the first few weeks. Her appetite increases slightly, and she starts conserving energy. The pack instinctively senses this shift and begins to adapt its behavior around her. The gestation period of an African wild dog lasts approximately 63 to 70 days, a little over 2 months. This period is carefully synchronized with environmental conditions. Nature has shaped this timing so that pups are born when prey is more abundant and hunting conditions are favorable. In the wild, timing is everything, and a miscalculation can mean disaster. As pregnancy progresses, the female becomes heavier and less agile. She no longer participates fully in long-distance hunts. Instead, she remains closer to the center of the pack, moving cautiously and resting more often. This is not a sign of weakness, but a strategic shift. The survival of the future generation now outweighs the need for her immediate contribution to hunting. The pack responds with remarkable coordination. Other members take on greater responsibility during hunts, often traveling longer distances to secure enough food. When they return, food sharing becomes more deliberate. Regurgitation, a behavior where adults bring back partially digested food, becomes increasingly important. This ensures the pregnant female receives enough nutrition without exposing herself to danger. During this time, the dominant male remains especially close to the female. His presence serves multiple purposes. He offers protection, reinforces their bond, and helps maintain order within the pack. Any signs of tension or competition are quickly suppressed. The stability of the pack is essential during pregnancy, and disruption is not tolerated. As the female's body prepares for birth, she begins searching for a suitable den site. This choice is critical. The den must be hidden, secure, and close enough to hunting grounds for the pack to provide food regularly. Abandoned aardvark burrows are often used, offering natural protection from predators and harsh weather. Once a den is selected, the female gradually withdraws from pack activities. She spends increasing amounts of time near the den, familiarizing herself with the surroundings. This withdrawal is temporary but necessary. Giving birth in the open savanna would leave the pups dangerously exposed. The pack adjusts again. While the female remains near the den, the rest of the pack continues hunting. Their movements now revolve around a central point. Hunts are planned with efficiency in mind, ensuring quick returns to deliver food. Every member understands the importance of this phase. Pregnancy places immense physical demands on the female. Carrying a large litter, sometimes up to 10 or more pups, requires enormous energy. African wild dogs compensate for this through cooperation. Few predators invest so much collective effort into a single reproductive event. As birth approaches, the female becomes increasingly protective of the den. She may show aggression toward pack members who approach too closely. This behavior ensures the den remains undisturbed and safe. The pack respects these boundaries instinctively. Environmental threats remain constant. Lions, hyenas, and even snakes pose dangers to both the pregnant female and the future pups. The pack increases vigilance, with members taking turns watching the area around the den. This silent guarding reduces the chance of surprise attacks. Unlike many predators, African wild dogs do not abandon pregnant females. There is no isolation through neglect. Instead, there is support. Through presence and action, this social structure dramatically increases pup survival rates compared to solitary hunters. As the final days of pregnancy arrive, the female becomes almost completely den-bound. Her movements slow, and her focus narrows entirely to the den. The pack hunts with urgency now, understanding that soon their role will shift from providers to protectors and caregivers. The moment of birth itself is unseen by the outside world. Hidden underground, the female delivers her pups alone. This solitude is deliberate. Silence and secrecy are the only defenses newborn pups have in a landscape filled with danger. With birth imminent, the future of the pack hangs in the balance. Every hunt, every shared meal, and every protective gesture has led to this moment. The next generation is about to emerge, and with it, new challenges will begin. Deep beneath the surface of the African savanna, hidden from predators and unseen by the outside world, the dominant female African wild dog gives birth. The den is silent, dark, and narrow, designed by nature to protect life at its most fragile stage. One by one, the pups enter the world, blind, deaf, and completely helpless. At birth, each pup weighs less than a kilogram, yet within them lies the future of the pack. The mother remains alone during the birth. This solitude is intentional. Noise or movement could attract predators, and secrecy is the newborn's first defense. The pups rely entirely on touch and smell, instinctively crawling toward their mother for warmth and nourishment. Her body heat regulates their temperature, while her milk provides the energy required for rapid early growth. African wild dog litters are among the largest of any carnivore, often ranging from 6 to 12 pups, and sometimes even more. This large litter size is both a strength and a risk. While it increases the chances that some pups will survive, it also places enormous physical strain on the mother. Feeding such a large litter requires constant energy, and the pack's support becomes essential. For the first several weeks, the mother does not leave the den. Her entire existence revolves around nursing, grooming, and protecting her pups. During this time, she depends completely on the pack for survival. Adult pack members hunt tirelessly, returning regularly to regurgitate food for her. This behavior is not occasional, it is constant, disciplined, and vital. Regurgitation allows the mother to remain hidden while still receiving the nutrients she needs. Each returning pack member contributes, regardless of rank or age. Even younger adults take part, learning the responsibilities of pack life through action. This collective effort reflects the core philosophy of African wild dogs, survival through unity. Inside the den, the pups grow rapidly. Within the first 2 weeks, their bodies strengthen, and faint movements become more coordinated. Though their eyes remain closed, their sense of smell sharpens, allowing them to recognize their mother and littermates. Vocalizations begin as soft squeaks, gradually developing into more distinct sounds that help maintain contact in the darkness. The den itself becomes a living space filled with movement and sound. The mother carefully cleans each pup, removing waste to prevent scent buildup that could attract predators. Hygiene is critical. Even a small mistake could reveal the den's location to lions, hyenas, or snakes. As days turn into weeks, the pups' eyes begin to open. Light filters faintly into the den, revealing their distinctive markings, a patchwork of black, white, brown, and gold that will one day make them easily recognizable. No two wild dogs share the same pattern. Each pup is visually unique, yet socially inseparable from the pack. At this stage, danger remains constant. Lions and hyenas frequently kill wild dog pups if discovered. To counter this threat, the pack increases vigilance. Members take turns guarding the den entrance, scanning the surroundings for movement. Any sign of danger triggers immediate response, with the pack ready to distract or confront intruders. The mother becomes increasingly alert as the pups grow. Though still den-bound, she listens carefully to sounds outside. Her reactions are swift and decisive. A low growl or sudden stillness signals potential danger, and the pups instinctively quiet themselves. Weeks pass, and the pups begin to show curiosity. They attempt to stand, stumble over their siblings, and explore the limited space around them. These early movements are clumsy but important. Muscle development begins early, preparing them for the demanding life ahead. Throughout this period, the pack's hunting efficiency becomes even more critical. Failure to provide food does not only affect the mother, it threatens the entire future of the pack. Hunger weakens the female, reduces milk production, and places pups at risk. Every hunt now carries greater weight. African wild dogs do not abandon struggling pups easily. If food becomes scarce, adults prioritize feeding the nursing mother. Their own hunger is secondary. This selflessness is rare among predators and highlights the extraordinary cooperative nature of the species. As the pups approach their first month of life, their awareness increases. They begin responding to their mother's movements and sounds, learning the earliest forms of communication. These lessons, though subtle, form the foundation of future pack behavior. The den, once a temporary shelter, becomes a classroom. Every sound, movement, and interaction teaches the pups how to exist within a society built on trust and cooperation. The pack, though mostly unseen, remains ever present, hunting, guarding, and sustaining life hidden beneath the earth. As the pups grow stronger and more aware of their surroundings, the responsibility of care slowly shifts from the mother alone to the entire pack. African wild dogs are among the very few predators where every adult member participates in raising the young. This collective care is not optional, it is essential for survival. In a harsh environment filled with danger, no single parent could succeed alone. When the pups finally emerge from the den for the first time, the moment is both fragile and transformative. Sunlight touches their coats for the first time, and unfamiliar sounds fill their senses. The pack gathers nearby, forming a loose protective circle. No one rushes forward. The adults remain calm, allowing the pups to explore at their own pace. Patience is one of the pack's greatest strengths. During these early outings, the pups remain close to the den entrance. Their movements are clumsy and uncertain. They stumble, tumble, and play fight with one another, learning balance and coordination through trial and error. What appears to be play is, in fact, training. Every chase, bite, and roll prepares them for the demands of hunting and survival. Feeding patterns change as the pups grow. While milk remains essential, the transition to solid food begins gradually. Adult pack members return from hunts and regurgitate meat directly for the pups. This behavior introduces them to the taste and texture of prey without exposing them to danger. The order of feeding is carefully managed. Smaller pups are often allowed to feed first, ensuring balanced growth. The bond between pups and non-breeding adults is particularly strong. Subordinate members, who will never reproduce themselves, invest heavily in the survival of the litter. Their role is not secondary. By ensuring the success of the dominant pair's offspring, they guarantee the future stability of the pack as a whole. As weeks pass, the pups grow more confident. Their legs strengthen, and their reactions sharpen. They begin to follow adults short distances from the den, learning to recognize scent trails, alarm calls, and visual cues. These early lessons are critical. A delayed response or misunderstanding later in life could mean death. The pack remains constantly alert. Lions and hyenas pose the greatest threat to young wild dogs. If danger approaches, adults respond instantly. Some distract predators, others gather the pups, and the group retreats in coordinated movement. This level of teamwork is unmatched among African carnivores. Training intensifies as the pups mature. Adults demonstrate hunting behaviors through exaggerated movements, allowing pups to observe without direct participation. Chases during play become faster and more structured. Pups learn when to pursue and when to retreat, a skill that will later save their lives. Food shortages test the pack's unity. During lean periods, adults once again prioritize the pups. They eat last, often going hungry themselves. This sacrifice increases pup survival but comes at a cost. Weak adults risk injury or death, yet the pack accepts this risk for the future generation. Social rules are also taught early. Pups learn submission gestures, vocal signals, and pack hierarchy through constant interaction. Discipline is firm but rarely violent. Correction comes through body language and sound rather than force. This minimizes injury and preserves cohesion. As the pups approach adolescence, they begin traveling with the pack more frequently. The den is gradually abandoned. Life becomes mobile, and the world grows larger and more dangerous. Mistakes are inevitable, but the pack remains patient, guiding the young through experience rather than punishment. Every successful hunt, every shared meal, and every close escape strengthens the bond between generations. The pack is no longer just protecting the pups, it is preparing them to take its place. Survival for African wild dogs is never guaranteed. Disease, predators, and human conflict remain constant threats. Yet through cooperation, discipline, and sacrifice, the pack continues forward. The future is walking beside them now.